Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's day 4 of our Business Reset Challenge. You are coming down to the end, and I just want to invite you to think about what you've done this week. We started, of course, with resetting the lens, doing some SWOT work, also looking at what's happening in your local environment. Day 2, we came back and we clarified the offer for now, for today. What did you notice? My guess is that you had some insights, and those might have been further moved by the one or more of the AI prompts. Just a reminder, you've got an AI prompt every day for business fundamentals, you've got one for revenue, and you've got one for mindset. My hope is that you've been able to activate them all 3 days and maybe also, like we did yesterday, activate some conversations. Today is all about visibility, and visibility never ends. Now, when I say visibility, we want to do that in a way that is meaningful and connected with what your clients want right now. One of the things that I love about challenges is it's another vehicle for creating visibility. It's been interesting as I look at our flowflexscale.substack.com, just how people are following along. It is one of many vehicles that we can activate. And I would also say another visibility channel that we're using this week is our partnership with Mighty Networks. I was one of the first people on Mighty, and they graciously, over in 2019, and they graciously sent me some merch. So I want to invite you to think about how could this support you? How could a platform like this support your work? I must say we have used Mighty Networks over the years in everything from course hosting through to the challenges. So it really helps us with being a portal for connection and that asynchronous space where we own it. No one else owns it, but we own it. So that's a couple of things to think about because as you're building a revenue rhythm, there may be some new activities that you're putting into play. Remember day 1, I recommended Andrea J. Lee's old book, Multiple Streams of Coaching Income. What are the different vehicles? What are the different revenue paths that you have? So that takes us to our first exercise. Today is building your presence. And we're really going to be asking the question in day 4, what can you do to stand out? Standing out is key. And it's not only what we're doing here at the campfire in this 1 week process, but I would say that really visibility is a part of our booster days at the Entrepreneurial Studio. And it allows you to become that beacon. Every day as I'm coming home or leaving home, I drive past a blue lighthouse like this. I find it interesting, and I may have shared this story, you may have heard me share this story in other contexts, but in 2019, I put a stake in the ground that I really wanted potentials realized to evolve beyond just a coach training organization. And we really have, with the advent actually in 2017 of effective virtual conversations. I would say since that time of putting a stake in the ground, where I envisioned this decade as being an opportunity for us to serve up to 1 million professionals, specifically in the evolving workspace. And in those days, I thought the evolving workspace would mean remote work, maybe sometimes hybrid work. And you would be aware that 2019 fall, we launched the Remote Pathways podcast. Popular, interesting, but didn't really hit its mark until and get traction until the pandemic. Certainly, it's interesting how people reach out to me really for info and advice on future of work issues. We know how now that has gone beyond just remote, virtual, and hybrid to now encapsulate AI enabled environments. Some of you have been with us in the AI enabled solopreneur, and hopefully, at least what I've been seeing in our live calls, is that you've been enjoying the AI prompts. I do believe that in most workspaces, especially for us as solopreneurs, that is going to be part of what allows us to stand out and be a beacon. You can notice in our program this week what I've used, like this graphic, AI enabled. So, with that, Why a business reset? Again, we've wanted this week to be time for you to focus on your business, and I've been hearing that. It's been encouraging to help you stand out, to create consistent conversations. So don't forget what work you did yesterday. And if you're coming in on day 4, yesterday we did a really important piece around conversations, 7 types of conversations you want to have. Ultimately, you want to be asking, what are you a beacon for? And in our work right now, we are really becoming a beacon for connection, creativity, and collaboration in the evolving workspace. Coaching is the vehicle to that. Connection is continuing to be the heart of our work. So we've done our 5-day path. We're here on day 4. And I really want to invite you to think about what is going to get you moving. So we reset the lens, and I've got a bit of a area for all of us to look at. So let's just get on over to our visuals. I'll invite you right now. Grab that notebook. All right, as we come to today's prompt, the invite is for you to think about, what does visibility look like for you? I'm going to invite you to grab an image. And when I say grab an image, pick an image on this list. And I want you to just spend the next 2 minutes drawing it out. Notice what you see. Notice what comes to mind as you start sketching this out. What does visibility look like? What does it feel like? What sort of energy are you noticing with whatever image that you have connected with? So let's take 2 minutes. I'm going to start my timer on this end. What does visibility look like for you right now? Again, we're working in current state. It might be a little bit different. I want to give you permission to maybe have a slightly different image than you've picked in the past. I'm going to start our timer for 2 minutes, and let's get writing. Let's notice what is calling our attention. Enjoy. As you look at that image, what is present and what is missing? All right, that's our 2 minutes. So I hope this has brought you here, and I want you to take a look at the words that you've just chosen. You may want to stop this because I want you to circle and notice what is really the theme of those words. For example, I grabbed the yellow vest. What was interesting is last night, my son was going to our pantry, and I have a packed yellow vest in the pantry. And he said, "What is that there for, Mom?" So that really caught my eye. And I think visibility for us here at Potentials realized there is always an educational safety component. How do you do it? What are the best practices? What pitfalls might you want to avoid? I look at our SEO and, in old days and now in our geo, as I was sharing on day one, we are known for, practical, practitioner-led tips, tools, and ideas. And so I know that visibility is about standing out through consistency. We are safe, right? We are about really, connecting in with others, leading the way. These were some of the words: responsive, urgent, where I think we could be doing more of stories from the trenches or stories from the field. As I think about people out in the field, this is really part of the work that we really love. And I've talked with a number of you that are alumni with us, especially here in this 20th year of anniversary. I would love to showcase what you're doing and or also capture your stories. What are the things that you notice that really have had a huge impact? Because so many of you have been evolving your fields in so many ways. So I hope that today's video really gets you thinking about, what does visibility look like? And part of this is standing out with your uniqueness. Pineapples are plentiful all over parts of the Caribbean. And, I love this image because it makes me happy. It makes me think about, wow, how do you stand out in a sea of sameness? I would invite you, and this is something we really explore at FlowFlex Scale in a couple of weeks. So, FlowFlex Scale has 9 different capacities that we explore, 3 per month. And in month one, we get you to really look, and as part of Flow, at your strengths and your DNA. What are those elements that make you uniquely positioned, uniquely skilled to serve your clients? I think this is really important because we often will try to fit ourselves in to other people's molds. And really, for the last 6 years, under the Standout Virtually brand that I evolved during the pandemic, the message has been stand out in the way you do things. And so many of you have embraced our different experiential tools. You've been bringing in dice, you've been bringing in cards. It might even be the way that you engage people with the 5 engagement levers. As an educational provider, it's been really exciting to see how all of you have been putting these things under your wings if you've been with us in our ICF CCE approved coach training programming. I would assert, though, in FlowFlex Scale, as solopreneurs, we need to go beyond our DNA and beyond our strengths. As a solopreneur, we need to complement with others. And that's where, in month two, our next catalyst that deals with standing out is really looking at relationships. Doing it alone is a lonely road. And so, how do we activate human partners as well as AI partners? And that can really help us focus in on what Gay Hendricks calls the zone of genius, really spending as much time as possible in what we do very well. So consider your strengths, consider your relationships. The third block of our scale is also for you to be owning and really noticing your capacity, having that big business acumen to know what can you uniquely do no matter what. Now, visibility lives in this space. So your field work today is really getting you to think about the 5 W's and an H of visibility. Who are you serving? What are you offering? When are you posting? Visibility in today's world is about consistency, and there's never too early a time to start. I think where a lot of business owners hesitate is thinking, oh, I just haven't got it figured out yet. Well, we don't need to figure it out. In fact, chances are you're never going to really have it really figured out. Time is of the essence, especially in the landscape of geo and AEO. AEO being your AI enabled or your AI engine optimization. So fieldwork today is to really get double down around your visibility. Who are you doing it for, right? So who, what, when, where, And that is where I come over here. What is the visibility channel that you want to double down on? And when I say double down on it, I want to throw out the gauntlet of this notion of do it for 30 days. What if you showed up consistently for 30 days? My guess is there would be some pretty amazing things. As part of our Q2 FlowFlex Scale Lab coming up in April, I'm going to be hosting a 30-day challenge, and everyone who is in the FlowFlex Scale is going to be joining me for. We'll have a touch point every day to get you moving on your most important projects. That will start mid-month and run into May. Now, you might choose to podcast or write, do LinkedIn or YouTube, think about TikTok or Instagram, Substack, speaking, experiences. What is going to work best for you? And here I am with some of our digital dozen. We've got Mo, our creative solopreneur, Sujit, the amazing project manager that he is, who is setting up his own firm. We've got Sam, who is selling her startup. She did a really good job with visibility. And we've also got Serge, who is a serial entrepreneur. He has used a lot of different channels. And what is important about that is he's done it because the different channels have different resonance with different client groups. So at this part of the challenge, I hope you're getting really clear. What is your priority over the next quarter? What is going to help you help your clients, support your clients? What are the vehicles they're turning to right now? What are the vehicles that they trust in an overcrowded space? And how can you be showing up there consistently? I want to invite you to stop the recording, to take note of your 5 W's and an H, and to really think about starting this flywheel of sharing your offer publicly. As you think about yesterday's fieldwork, what is it that you're offering? And how might you put it out this week before we wrap up? So if you're here with us live, you'll know that the giveaway, the grand drawing prize, will be given away. There are two of them, will be given away on Monday. I'm going to up the ante in that people who have started sharing their offers publicly are going to get a couple of draws. So let me know by Monday if you are live with us in Q1 2026. Let us know what you've chosen to dive down on. I'd invite you to look at all of our different channels, especially the FlowFlex Scale Substack. This is something that I've been really starting to work. And in doing that, I've had to really architect it. We're still building it out. I'm not even yet at the stage of activating, which to me is when you start really getting that traction so that we can amplify our message. So 30 days is going to give you some initial traction. And I hope that you found today valuable. Now, so many of you have said that you really love these AI prompts. Of course, they're from our AI empowered solopreneur and coach programming. And here are three for you to look at. So please feed forward what those are, and I look forward to hearing how it goes. All right, fieldwork 3 parts. What's your vehicle? What's your core message? Again, you get extra points if you share that with us on whatever podcast platform, articles, newsletters, Substack that you choose. And then let us know in the Conversation Sparker Zone what your insights are. If you want a bit of inspiration, head on over to our Coaching Many podcast. And I think that's it. Tomorrow we're back for our 5th and final day of content. I hope that you're enjoying this. And again, we'll come back together on Monday for our other areas. So be well, everyone. Have a great night.